Well, hi. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Are you cold? I hope that you're inside and warm somewhere, because it is going to be chilly for the rest of this week. We're looking at lows in double digits below zero every overnight for the rest of this week. Makes me wish that I'd jumped on a plane and gone someplace warmer. I don't know, Costa Rica, Ecuador, West Palm Beach, Florida. I am really rethinking my life choices of staying in the Midwest when it gets this cold. I'm just teasing. I'm very happy with where I live. We have a very full show today. We have a couple of guests. First, on our business spotlight, Garrett Prichard from GT Motors is going to be joining us. I had a chance to go down and talk with Garrett in his office, and we learned a little bit about what it's like to go to these car auctions that the dealers go through, how many other dealers are up bidding against, and what he's looking for, and that kind of thing. It's really kind of a fascinating conversation, so you want to stick around for that. Also, Paul Gutierrez, he is with Heartland Family Service. He's their communications manager, and he's going to tell us all about Heartland Family Service and their 150th anniversary this year and all of the different things that they have coming up. So we've got, like I said, a lot of folks going to be on the show today. If you have a nonprofit and would like to come on Morning Coffee and tell us all about it, just send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. You know, Spiral of Accountability is a book written by local author Carol Horner. And Spiral of Accountability takes the complex dynamic of human self-talk and human interaction and then simplifies it into a visual representation that allows the readers to identify, name, and understand what's going on with them and the people around them. We had Carol on just recently on the show last week, so if you go back and watch that, you can hear her talk more about this concept and what it's like to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, try to understand where they're coming from. And that's what Spiral of Accountability is all about. You can pick up your copy of the book online, spiralofaccountability.com. You can also learn how Carol can help your business by coming in and talking to your team. Also, there is an event coming up next week on February 26th. It is with Sprout Marketing Solutions, partnering with the Mills County Chamber of Commerce. It's a lunch and learn going on at Keg Creek Brewing in Glenwood. Kelsey's going to speak on social marketing and how it can help grow your business online. And you'll also receive a free video business card. You'll get a free headshot and have an opportunity to network with a lot of entrepreneurs and community members. It's free for Mills County Chamber of Commerce members, $20 for non-members. And Keg Creek Brewing Company, boy, it reads really well, but it just does not come out of the mouth really well, guys. 17 North Vine Street in Glenwood is where that is located. I tell you what, let's learn a little bit more now from Heartland Family Service. With us now, it is Paul Gutierrez, the communications manager with Heartland Family Service. And Heartland Family Service is celebrating a huge milestone this year, Paul. And we were very excited when you agreed to come on the program and talk just a little bit about it. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join us on this and give us all this great information.
Absolutely. Thank you, Todd. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Well, it's the 150th anniversary of Heartland Family Service. I don't know that everybody realizes just how long this organization has been around.
1875. And
wow.
To put that into some kind of historical context, that was just 10 years after the Civil War ended.
Right. Yeah. So going back that far, then, was the mission then the mission now, or has things progressed and kind of evolved with the times?
Well, when we first started, all the way back in 1875, we were based in Omaha, and our mission was more relief, mission work, that kind of thing. And it has since evolved into a number of different things. And we have a number of different locations all throughout, not just the Omaha area, but also Southwest Iowa as well, including Council Bluffs. And what we do now is we offer a number of what we call life-saving services. So that would be anything from housing, mental health crisis care, therapeutic education, housing and stability, prevention services, substance use treatment, things along those lines. So from what we started as is just like mission work and charity, it's now expanded into a whole array of different services.
I would imagine that some of the things that you were just talking about existed back in 1875,
Mm-hmm.
but have changed, and there has to be a different focus now. So this would be something that Heartland has to understand, that with different times and with different things that are going on, you need to be able to be on top of things and with the latest studies and the latest treatment and all of that.
Absolutely, and I think the big thing is obviously they're all big, but mental health care is certainly something that we've heard a lot about in recent times, and to be able to help there is certainly something that is needed, especially right now. And when it comes to things like human trafficking, there's been a lot more awareness surrounding that issue, and we have services surrounding that as well. And I'll also add domestic violence, survivor services. We offer that as well. So certainly as there's been more awareness that's been raised about particular topics and particular issues, it's very important that we be there for the community, and we have been.
I would think that, such as with the human trafficking aspect, we got Interstate 80 running right through here. That is a coast-to-coast interstate, and there is a lot of things going on that come right through our area.
Absolutely.
That we probably aren't aware of or think is as serious as what it is, because we have issues that are happening here, but at the same time, we kind of live in a little bit of a bubble. Just for ourselves, but there's so much going on, and that's why it's so important for an organization like yours to do what you're doing.
Well, and I'll add this: before I started here at Heartland Family Service, I was working in the news industry as a reporter for the longest time, and I found a lot of eye-opening things from the sheriff's office, from our local sheriff's office. And what I found is that whenever a major event comes to town, whether that be the College World Series, or even when we had the eclipse roll through through the Nebraska area, they were really buckled down and focused on like rest stops and hotels, and really talking to people and staffers at the hotels, and people who might frequent rest stops, about here are the things that would be helpful to look for. So that way you might save somebody's life, because when it comes to major events, trafficking tends to be a real issue.
You would think that it would be the opposite with that kind of thing, because in my mind, okay, more people means more eyes, and we don't want to be as prevalent, but that's not the case, because it sounds like they feel that they could probably blend in a little bit better and try to come through that direction. So it's actually kind of interesting. I didn't know you had a news background.
I was in TV news for 16 years and in a few different markets across the U.S. before I came here. So it's I have the communications experience for sure.
That's an entire different conversation.
Yeah,
that would probably take us into some weeds that we don't need to go in.
About that.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the 150th anniversary. Yes. You've got, I don't want to say it's celebrations planned, because some of these things that you're doing, you do every year. But at the same time, there's probably a little bit of an extra special feeling attached to it, knowing that it's such a big milestone.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned right off the top, this is our big 150th anniversary, and it all starts with our grand jubilee here that'll be happening on Saturday, February 22nd, and so that's really the kickoff to the festivities, if you will. And then in the Council Bluffs area specifically, we have the Strike Accord event, which begins in June. It's that Friday, June 13th. Which is, we're really going to start moving and getting the sponsorships going here within the next few weeks. And a big shout out to the Pottawatomie County Attorney, Matt Wilbur. He's with us every year. I think.
Yeah, he does a great job, doesn't he?
He does a great job, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's only missed 1 year. And what Strike Accord does is it really benefits people living in specifically Southwest Iowa. And there's a number of different programs that, when the donations pour in, the sponsorships pour in, that it benefits. We have a therapeutic education center based in Council Bluffs. We have Iowa Family Works. We have residential services, substance use treatment. We have problem gambling treatment that people could use at our Gendler Center. So we have a lot of different services based in Southwest Iowa, and that Strike Accord event. And last year we raised more than $90,000 is what we got out of that one particular gala. So it's we're really appreciative of the people that really step up for us. Being the honorary chairs, being the chairs, just buying the tickets and sponsorships. What I say is that every dollar helps, and it does. And every dollar is also, an opportunity to even possibly save a life and multiple lives. And so that's the importance of the gala. And we look forward to having that this year. And it's our 21st annual, and we're looking forward to it.
I am always encouraged anytime an event such as this comes up of how well it's supported and how well it's attended. It's one of my favorite things about being in the community that we live in is this community believes in these types of causes and believes in helping folks out and being able to donate and giving back. I mean, all of the businesses that I know of and are connected to, they all have programs in order to be able to do this kind of thing, so they can earmark money to be able to go to events such as this. And I get encouraged every time one of these comes up, because it's going on all the time, but this is when the spotlight comes out on it and you can really see just what it means to be here.
Oh, absolutely. And on our Facebook page, the Heartland Family Service Facebook page, I have been updating our stories section on Facebook throughout the week, kind of highlighting and putting a spotlight on our evolution all the way from 1892 to present day. And it's always interesting to hear the feedback, and wow, I didn't know that Heartland Family Service had been around or has been around that long. That's so incredible to see. What can I do to help? And that's, we have a number of gracious volunteers, and we always have new donors and volunteers that step up for us. And when they do that, it's not just something that I appreciate or a certain group of people within our agency appreciate. We all appreciate it. And like it's what we say. We've been around for 150 years. But we're looking forward to many more years and helping the community and anybody who needs help, and making sure that we really help them with their health and well-being.
Well, and you think about it too, that, I mean, this is February, but talking about an event coming up in June, I know from experience, from talking with different organizations, just how much work goes into doing something like this. And you've got a lot of your team members all involved with this. So that's why you're thinking about it now. And you also want to make sure that people have it on their calendar and have things earmarked for, because the businesses that have budgets to be able to allocate some of these funds, you want to make sure that they're aware of it. That's why we're talking about it already. But there's so much work that goes into these things that by the time the event actually gets here, you can actually breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief at that point.
It's amazing. It's not. Every time we put on an event, whether it's a gala or maybe our salute to families, or honor families who are making a difference in the Omaha Council Bluffs metro region, it's not just something that you could scrounge together in a day or a week or even a month. There's planning that goes on several months in advance leading up to those specific events. So you're right. There is a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes, day of, weeks leading up to it, and it's not just something that you put together in just a short period of time. There's plenty of planning that goes on in advance.
Plus, I also get excited anytime there's some kind of an event going on at the MAC, because I think that facility is underused. So, that being able to do that, because having that in our community, I think, is phenomenal to be able to have an event space like this. So very excited that this is going to be back again, that Strike Accord coming up in June. Also, before we wrap things up, after that, you're sliding right into, there's another event coming up in July that is all part of the 150th anniversary celebration.
Yes, and that's a new one too. We talked about things that are annual, happen every year. This is a new one because this is a family reunion, if we will. Actually, we do call it the Heartland Family Service Family Reunion. It's happening Friday, July 18th. It's going to be at Turner Park at Midtown Crossing in Omaha. And what this is anybody that's been associated with Heartland Family Service, whether it's past or present, dating back decades, even if they're newer, we invite them to come out. We're going to have musical entertainment there. Obviously, there are plenty of restaurants in the area, and they know we're coming, so you can go there, get food, bring it out, into the grassy areas, and just have a good time. And we want to take that opportunity to be able to mingle, to talk, and just kind of catch up and meet and meet new people, whether that's old friends or new friends or just anybody that's been associated with us. We want to be able to connect with them, and we think it's going to be a really good time.
One of my favorite things about having conversations like this, Paul, and with service organizations such as yourself, is finding out a little bit of the why behind it. And now I can kind of guess, I think, for you, because having been involved with the news for as long as you were, it's a constant barrage of bad news. And sometimes you get to talk about some good news, but more often than not, you're talking about bad news. But with what you're doing now, you can actually do something about it. And you can actually feel like you are contributing to solving a problem instead of just telling everyone else what the problem is.
And we have so many success stories here at Heartland Family Service of people that were facing a really difficult time in their lives and weren't sure how they were going to get out of it. But then through our help and the staffers and the counselors and the therapists that we have here on staff, we're able to find that and complete that journey of well-being and find that healing and hope and encouragement. And it's just so great to see. And there are multiple stories every year, multiple stories of people that have risen above and gotten to a brand new level, if you will. And it's just so great to see and so great to hear about. And personally, for me personally speaking, I'm happy to hear all of those stories each and every day, each and every week, and it really does bring me a lot of joy.
There's a very, very important service that hearing those stories brings, because we get focused on the bad news and we get focused on the problems, and we do have to be aware of what problems are. But if that's all you ever look at, you forget that there are success stories and there are paths to move past it. And that's part of what this program and it's part of what Les Hills Media and Podcast is all about. And I've said it many times on the show, and I'll continue to say it many times. I believe that the brighter of a light you shine on the positive, the less comfortable the negative is being around it. I believe that down to my core. And that's why we love to hear about the success stories, not ignoring the negative. We know it exists and but the success stories are what gives us hope and encourages us to continue to go along with this.
And those are two good words that you used, hope and encouragement. And that's what we offer here at Heartland Family Service. That's what we'll continue to offer. And, I know that there are a lot of different situations where, some people might wonder, I don't know if I can get out of it, or if I can rise above the challenges that I'm facing right now. But a lot of people do. And, my message would be, even during your darkest hour, you come to Heartland Family Service, connect with us, and, we would be happy to get you on that journey to well-being and hope and healing and just a whole new level. And that's what we strive to do, and that's what we'll continue to strive to do.
Can't finish up better than that. He is Paul Gutierrez, and he is the communications manager with Heartland Family Service. We're looking forward to talking with you again, Paul. Excited to hear about all of the great things that are going on and continue just to do great work.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. A pleasure being on today.
Still ahead on the show, we're going to bring you that conversation that I had with Garrett Prichard from GT Motors, and that is straight away. But up first, ThinkSpace IT would like to remind you that, mistakes can happen, and by offering comprehensive cybersecurity training to your employees, you can ensure your team is prepared for every bump along the way. Let ThinkSpace IT help keep your employees and your data secure. Contact them to get started with solutions that work best for your business. You can learn more at thinkspaceit.com. Did you know there is open tryouts coming up for the CB Captains, the local semi-pro soccer team? And they've got some announcements coming up too. But this open tryout first will be on February 28th. It'll be at the Iowa Sportsplex going on that evening from 7 to 10 at 3260 Mid-America Drive in Council Bluffs. So to get registered, and your registration fee will include a T-shirt, go to their Facebook page, and you can see the link that has been coming up on the scroll at the bottom of the screen. Also, if you go to my website, lushillsmedia.com, and go to the morning coffee page, they're listed in there, and their icon is linked back to, or the logo is linked back to their Facebook page, so you can go in and get registered. All right, let's head on over to GT Motors. This is Garrett Prichard from GT Motors on 21st and Broadway in Council Bluffs, and we've come down on site to talk to you today because anytime you can get me out of my studio, I'm a big fan of that.
Pick the warmest day of the year to get down here.
It seems, yeah, we were rather fortunate all winter long, and I foolishly thought that it was going to stay that way.
Yeah.
And then we get snow, and it sounds like we got more snow coming, and I know that that's a bit of a headache for guys like you with a lot like this, and
it's try not fun.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the cars still people can see what they got. They're not covered in snow.
Presentable.
Yeah, and also as we're recording this, you've been busy at the auctions because you got a lot of cars on your lot.
Yep. It's that time of year. Obviously, everybody in the country is expecting a tax return here in the next 30 to 45 days, and in my industry that opens up the door for a lot of my customers to be able to purchase that car they've been waiting to purchase all year that they didn't have the money for, or upgrading, or whatever it may be. So we try to stock up. Usually after Christmas, I start to buy pretty heavy just because I like to get everything checked out before we sell it, obviously, and that takes time. So just try to buy as many as I can and get them through the shop. That way, when tax money does roll around, they're all ready to go. And
well, let's talk about that process about going to the auction, because you talk about needing to get the cars checked out and get everything buttoned up and tightened up with them. How much of that information do you have at the auction? I mean, do you have a pretty good feel for what it is that you're getting?
Yeah, so I obviously hand select everything that we buy. I never buy online, so unless I can put my hands on it, then I'm not going to buy it. Most auctions I go to, they have like a test drive track, so you can get the car up to operating temperature. You can only check so much, obviously, while you're there. The big things I look for are obviously make sure that the motor sounds and operates the way it should, that it's not overheating. The advantage with the test tracks is you can at least make sure that through the first couple of years that the transmission's shifting all right. They're not big test tracks, but you can still get a feel for the suspension parts and stuff like that. I mean, I've been doing it long enough that I can get in something, and the second you take off, any bump you hear, most of the time you can tell whether something needs struts or ball joints or just little stuff like that. So I can get a pretty good idea of what I'm buying before I buy it. There's a nice thing with all the auctions that I go to, so they have it's like a light system. So when a car rolls through the auction block, you have what's called a green light, which is ride and drive guarantee. So that is the seller guareteeing that all your major things as far as the drivetrain, motor, transmission, differentials, all that stuff are good to go. So if for some reason I buy that car and I go take it out on the test track after I bought it and the transmission's slipping, I can then return that car because the seller's guaranteeing me that it's supposed to be good. They also have a yellow light, which covers most of the time just motor transmission, and then they have a red light, which is as is. So, in a sense, if I were to buy a car and a red light, I'm buying it the way most of my customers are buying a car, and that's you got to look at it and know what you're buying to before you buy something on a red light, because you can't take it back if there's something wrong with it. So
When you go to an auction, how widespread are folks, the smaller dealers like you, are they coming to that auction? I mean, do you have a lot of competition that you're going through with these things?
yeah, it kind of depends on the auction. So like I go to Lincoln sale on Wednesdays. I'd say every week there's probably anywhere from 40 dealers to 70 at times. I mean, you see guys that are willing to travel a couple hundred miles, I would assume. Like I'll go to Des Moines on Friday, which is 2 hours for me, or Kansas City on Thursdays. But that's about the max usually that I try to go on a weekly basis. If I happen to be somewhere else in the country and I know there's an auction going on, then I might stop and have stuff shipped back. But on a weekly basis, I try to keep it within a couple 100-mile radius.
Do you have any idea what's there before you get there, or is it a surprise?
Yeah, so they have every week. So like the two independent auctions I go to are Lincoln and Des Moines. So those are independently owned. They have a run list every week. So usually, like Des Moines is Friday. So usually about Wednesday they start uploading. They'll take 4 or 5 pictures of a car, upload it to a website, and then you can see all the cars that are fixing to run that Friday. Same thing with Lincoln. I just went to Omaha today. Omaha's Cox-owned company, but they're all throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
But they do the same thing. I mean, they've got a pre-sale list you can look through. So,
And then I'm looking out, like what you have on your lot right now. What jumps out at me is you got a lot of trucks out there, a lot of pickup trucks.
yep.
Are you concerned at all about having a balance on your lot at any given time, or is it more about just quality of the vehicle and you want to make sure that that's taken care of?
Well, it's always quality of the vehicle. I mean, I'm not gonna buy something, and it does happen to me. So don't get me wrong. It does happen where I buy something and it's not the quality that I thought it was. Usually, what I do in that situation is either take it back to the auction and try to get rid of it, or we will fix whatever's going on, because I don't want to put something on the street, that I know isn't gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously 90% of my customers are coming in, whether they're getting bank loans with me or they're doing buy here, pay here, they're going to have a car note on the car for at least 2 years minimum. That being said, we want to make sure that car lasts them a while, because they got to keep paying on it. But yeah, it's not really I mean, it is a balance. Like I try to have, an even amount of cars compared to small SUVs, compared to big SUVs,
Right.
compared to trucks. But yeah, it's mainly just a quality thing. Like right now, like you said, I'm pretty heavy on trucks, which I don't mind, because around here trucks seem to kind of sell themselves.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think it was really all that long ago that it was tough to find a truck.
Yeah.
There just wasn't anything
Well,
available.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
COVID, the price on everything used during COVID went up, but the price of trucks was outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't hardly get your hands on anything. It's kind of gotten back to a little bit more of a normal, but I wouldn't say it's back to where it was 10 years ago by any means.
Well, it's the same as anything else right now that we've got going on. It doesn't matter what the product is; it's up.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Whether you're at the grocery store or the gas station or buying your insurance or whatever it is, everything is high right now, and we're all just trying to do the best that we can, which is why that having places like this that people can come to, because they got to. If your car's not working and you can't get back and forth to work, then that's you're full stop in the water.
Right.
Right. So that's key number one. You got to have that in order to make everything else work.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, just for like example, today we sold a car to a gentleman. Didn't really have a whole lot of money down. went through a divorce. I think he said like a year ago. He's been without a car for the last 7 months. Really been struggling to get anywhere in life because obviously he doesn't have a car.
Right.
Needed to get a car so he could get back and forth to work. Didn't have good credit because of his divorce. Actually got referred to me by a bigger dealer. One of their reps said, "Hey, I'm going to send this guy in." You know, we sold to him prior. He ended up getting repossessed. It was kind of the rep that sent him in was like, I didn't agree with how they repossessed him. You know, the guy's actually a good dude. He paid good. He just kind of went through some hard times with a divorce. But they won't sell him another car. And he doesn't have good enough credit to go anywhere else. So he sent him down, and we were fortunate enough to be able to put him in something. And it's nice, you know, like those kind of customers, because he was just the most grateful person that has walked in my door, and, you know, today anyway. But he was just grateful that we were able to help him, and that's satisfying knowing that, you know, when somebody's down there on their luck, we can try to help out the best we can. So.
Well, I would guess that I think that we talked about it before, that you've got another place that you can store cars. 'Cause it looks like, I don't know that you can get another car in the lot.
No, it's pretty full right now. And I just bought another 8 today, so I don't know where I'm going to put them. And we haven't cleaned any of the snow off the lot yet, so it's going to be probably a cluster around here for a while.
Well, and that's just the part of living where we live, and we should probably feel fairly fortunate we made it this far without much snow. And
I was hoping Florida was going to beat us this year with their snow accumulation, but
yeah,
they might still beat us. I don't know. They got quite a bit.
Well, and it's as you said, it's just kind of an ongoing thing. It's all just kind of built into everything that it is that you do, so you know it's going to be part of it. And it's also, as you said, we're getting up on tax season, and people are going to start getting those refunds, and that's when they're kind of been waiting on that.
Right.
You know, and you know, there's a number of industries about that, but with you, I know that it's a big part of the year.
Yeah.
Of this coming in.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, especially in today's society, you know, not a lot of people have the chance to be able to save up cash, you know, just because, like you said, the price of everything is outrageous, and it's not like people are really getting paid a lot more money. So it's hard for people to save up money throughout the year and not only, you know, in my business, I mean, you see a lot where people get caught up on their bills, or, you know, they got to buy that home furniture that they need to update, or, you know, home repairs. But it is big in my business because there's a lot of people that either don't have a vehicle, and that's what they're planning to use their return on, or they want to upgrade, or they need to upgrade because theirs is going out, whatever the scenario may be. We encourage people, you know, if you see something that you like and you're kind of like, well, I don't think I have the money for it or whatever, at least contact us, give us a chance to, you know, because like I said, we got bank financing, we do buy here, pay here. We at least want a chance to try and get you into what you want, because you never know without, you know, running credit or, you know, asking us, hey, what do you need down on this, you know, because we're flexible. So.
Well, and I've said it many times with whatever industry I'm working in, you know, conversations are free, you know, and having that, you know, just to find out. I mean, it's an informational kind of thing that, you know, let's see, let's run the numbers, let's take a look at what you got and get real information as opposed to just imagining what it might be. And that's where, well, that's why you have a job. That's why you have a lot, because to be able to have those conversations with folks. Is there if somebody's wanting to come onto your lot, is there times during the day that you're less busy, that it wouldn't be quite as crowded, or is that just fluctuate all over?
It kind of fluctuates. I mean, I see like it gets a little more busier during the evening hours, you know, past 3 o'clock when people are starting to get off work. That's why we try to stay open till 7 every night, 5 usually on Saturday. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's a more busy time per se, but we try to accommodate people as best as possible. So we've got a decent little waiting area, and water and Red Bull, all that out there. So
what, and I'm just going to surprise you with this question. We didn't talk about it before, but what is the deal with Cars on Sunday? What?
My father's been doing it for 30 plus years. As far as I know, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And I guess I've never really gotten a straight answer.
I
really don't know. I think we're the only retail business in the state of Iowa that isn't allowed to be open on Sundays.
Right.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because people are off. You know, when do you have time to go? If you're working through the week, well, that leaves Saturday. And I've never understood the logic behind it, but I'm sure that there was something in place.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've been told in the past, and I just don't remember because it's one of those things. It's just been a law for so long that it's like, well, whatever.
it's just part of it.
But I guarantee you, if they allowed it, I would be open on Sundays.
This is Garrett Prichard, and it's GT Motors, 21st and Broadway in Council Bluffs. Stop on out, and as I talk about at various times throughout the show when you're not on, that if you take a look at the website, that's gtmotorscb.com, and it may or may not be complete what's on the website.
Yeah.
Because, such as, you just got some new cars in today. Mm-hmm. It's a process to get the pictures taken, get them uploaded, and everything. So if you want to know what the latest is, you got to get down to the lot.
Yeah. It takes a few days to get stuff uploaded. So, we always encourage people to call or stop down. I mean, stopping down is going to be the best thing because then you can physically see it in person. But.
Well, and plus you never really know such as how you fit in a car. Until you really sit in it.
Oh, yeah.
When I was going through the process of getting my car several years ago, I sat in a Camaro. I didn't even drive it. I just sat down and said, nope.
Yep. Yeah, you got to be comfortable with what you're buying.
Yeah, because with my body style and my height and just where everything needs to be, I was instantly uncomfortable sitting down. Couldn't see because of my height and everything. Yep. Whereas, the Dodge that I drive is, for me, fits, but that's me. Other people are built differently. I remember once upon a time sitting in a Subaru and my brother came over. My brother's a bigger guy than me. He couldn't even get in it. Could not physically get in the car.
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
So that's why it's so important to, get onto the lot, take a look. First step
come test drive stuff too. I mean, we always encourage our customers, if you're on the fence about something that you want, come test drive it. See if you even will like it before you get too excited about wanting a pickup because you've never had one, or wanting an SUV because you've never had it. Come drive one. If you like it, great. Let's talk about getting you into it. But yeah, the first step is just come down, check out what we got. If you do get on the website and see something that you like, we have a tab at the top of the website that says Get Approved.
Okay.
That is linked to our application. We encourage everybody to fill that application out for us. Fill it out to the best of your knowledge. It's going to ask you, your employment information, stuff like that, residence, what kind of money you can put down. Fill that out. It gets sent directly to us. It gives you a spot, too, to put the vehicle you're interested in. So always put that if there's a specific vehicle. But it gets sent directly to us, and then that gives us the chance to kind of preview the numbers before people come in. So we always recommend that if there's one you like, fill that out, and then we can kind of have numbers ready for you when you do come in, test drive it. If you like it, great. Then here's what we can offer you.
Perfect. That's how it works here at GT Motors, 21st and Broadway in Council Bluffs. Appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Always grateful to take the time to do this.
Yeah,
and,
I'm glad you came out on this frigid day.
Very, very cold for the rest of the week. We could see double digits below zero. That's without the wind chill. I actually saw a map that said the wind chill up in extreme northwest Iowa was going to get down to around 45 below. Oh, that's a kind of cold that you do not want to be out in. But what we're experiencing now can be dangerous. So if you're out driving around, make sure you got that safety kit with you, and make sure that your phone is charged so you can reach out to somebody if you have car trouble. You don't want to get stuck out in this. And then we are expecting things to warm up by the weekend. We may even actually be into the 40s by Sunday and Monday. That's at least according to the telltale phone here that I've got in front of me. All right, that's going to wrap things up for today. Again, thanks to Paul from Heartland Family Service and Garrett from GT Motors for joining us today. We've got another great show ahead again tomorrow. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Tuesday.